In this video, I'm going to go over calculate shopping with interest. So, for this first part, where it says part one, practice with an example, we're going to be referring to the information that's given previous to that because we're going to be looking at calculating certain different kinds of payments. So, the credit card interest rate that we're looking at is 19.9%, and the minimum payment due each month will be the 3% of your starting balance. So, suppose you have a credit card bill that's $1,275 for the month of October. If you pay the full balance before the bill is due, how much do you owe in interest? Well, if you pay it before the interest is accrued at that time, you only pay what the actual balance was, which is 1,275. So, how much interest will you have? None. With your bill paid off and starting back at zero, the latest video game comes out and costs $60. You put it on your credit card and can't afford to pay the whole bill at once, so you make a minimum payment. So remember, our minimum payment is 3% of however much my total is. So for this one, we want to be able to do 3% of $60. So that means in your calculator, you should do 60 times 0.03 to find out what your minimum payment is. Then it says use the credit card calculator to determine how much total interest you'll pay on this debt. So if you're paying the minimum each month, which is what you're saying right here, once you figure that out, you're going to go up here and click on the credit card uh, calculator that's here. So if your credit card balance was, let's say, 60, your interest rate is 19.9, and your payment per month is whatever the 3% of 60 is going to be. You're going to put that here. And then from there, you should be able to maneuver through it. So that should give you the total interest you'll pay on this. When you include the purchase price and the interest, how much would you pay for the video game? So you need to add up the total interest that you found that you were paying, which your answer is in B, plus the $60 for that video game. And once you have that, that is how much the total cost of the video game will actually be. In three, assume your balance is back to zero. You desperately want a TV for your bedroom, but you don't have any money saved. You put $229 TV on your credit card and make the minimum monthly payment. So again, you're going through the same process that you just went through. So you need to find your minimum payment, which is 3% of this. Then you're going to use the credit card calculator to determine the total interest again. And then you're going to find out how much it costs to actually purchase the TV while you are using your credit card by adding the total interest with the price of the TV. So this is going to continue on. And then it says what happens if you buy the same TV, but you pay $20 per month instead of just making the minimum monthly payment. So you're going to use that credit card calculator to see what the difference is, and will you end up paying less, or would you end up paying more if you're paying more than the 3%? In part two, you're going to choose your own expenses. So, using your knowledge or research on the internet, you're going to find some initial costs of these items and complete the chart below to determine the cost. So, on here, a new outfit to wear to a friend's party. So, you can guesstimate this if you want or not, but let's say it's $80. So then you want to find your minimum monthly payment. That's 3% of the $80. That would go here. And then you need to calculate your interest and the total cost of the item. So just repeating the process that you did in part one. And you're going to do this for each of these different categories. You can pick. Then at the end, you're going to summarize the effect of having a credit card interest on the real cost of the items. Is it ending up that you're paying a significant amount more if you're not paying it off in a timely manner? Or do you think that it makes a difference if I'm only doing the minimum versus a little more or paying it off on time? And then what are some strategies consumers can use to reduce the amount of interest they'll pay? So what are options that will enable you to have less interest being paid on the items.